يا مسبل الستر يا من حكمك العالي. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Karibuni tena kwa mara nyingine katika kipindi chetu hichi cha masomo ya ziada katika chaneli yako ya Nurul Mustafa. And today we will discuss about a continent for standard 6. We will discuss about continent, new topic, continent and oceans. This is our new topic for today. So students have to know what is a continent. So today we will focus only on continent. So anyway, what is a continent? A student have to know what is a continent. So a continent is a large landmass arise above the sea level. So a student have to know we have the sea level, or they say ocean floor. So this large land masses that arise above the sea level, that is called a continent. For instance, maybe you may say here, and here we have the ocean, like that. So here in the ocean. So, and here is the sea level. So this place that's come up above the sea level is called a continent. And in the world, we have 7 continents in the world. We have 7 major continents. 7 major continents in the world. The first one is Asia. We have Africa. We have North America. We have South America. We have Antarctica. We have Antarctica. We have Europe. We have, and 7, Australia. These are our 7 continents that we have in the world. So Asia. First, a student have to know the Asia. Asia is the largest continent in the world. Asia. It's better to know about Asia. So Asia, largest continent. This is the largest continent in the world. This is the largest continent in the world, and it's surrounded by the oceans. This Asia is surrounded by the oceans. So for the east side, or in the north side, is surrounded by the Arctic oceans. And if you see to the north side, there is Arctic oceans. This surrounded by oceans. Surrounded by oceans. So to the north, there is Arctic Ocean. Arctic oceans. Also, there is Pacific Ocean. There is Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean to the east. In the east side, also there is Indian Oceans. Indian Ocean, surrounded by Indian Ocean to the south. To the south. Also, in the southwest, there is Red Seas. We have Red Seas in the southwest and Mediterranean Seas. There is a Red and Mediterranean. Mediterranean Seas to the west side, to the southwest. So this is the largest continent in the world, and it's surrounded by the oceans. In the north side there is Arctic Oceans, and in the east side there is Pacific Ocean, surrounded by the Pacific Oceans, and in the south side there is surrounded by Indian Oceans, and to the southwest there is a Red Seas and Mediterranean Seas. Also we have Africa. You have to know another continent is Africa. Africa, this is the largest, is the second largest. This is the second largest continent. Largest continent in the world. This is the second largest continent in the world. And also this is surrounded by the oceans. If you, there is Mediterranean Sea, there is the ocean that surrounds it, there is Mediterranean Sea, but, to the north side, also there is Atlantic Ocean. Also it's bordered by Atlantic Oceans. Atlantic Oceans to the west side. To the west. So students have to know that Africa is the second largest continent in the world, and it is surrounded by the oceans. In the north side there is a Mediterranean Seas, and to the west side it's bordered out, surrounded by the Atlantic Oceans. Also you have to know in the east side there is Indian Oceans. Indian Ocean in the east side. So second largest, surrounded by the oceans, Mediterranean north, Atlantic Oceans to the west, and the Indian Ocean to the east. Also we have another continent that is North America. You have to know North America. North America. North America. This is the third largest continent in the world. This is the third largest continent in the world. Third largest continent in the world, that is North America. And also this surrounded, it's bordered by the oceans. It's bordered by the oceans. If you look to the west side, it's surrounded by the oceans. To the east side, to the east, yeah. To the east side, there is Atlantic Ocean. Atlantic Ocean. West side, also there is a Pacific Ocean. Pacific Oceans to the west. To the west side is bordered by Pacific Ocean. Also there is Arctic Ocean. Also it's bordered by Arctic Ocean. Arctic Oceans to the north. To the north. So you have to know that this is the third largest continent in the world. After Africa, now it's North America, but also it's surrounded by the ocean. You have to know that east side of this continent is surrounded, it's bordered by the Atlantic Oceans. Also, to the west side, there is a Pacific Ocean, as it's shown in that map. Also, in Arctic Ocean, it's to the north of this continent, there is a Arctic Oceans. Also, we have another continent. We have another continent, that is South America. South America. One of these of 7 continents that we have in the world. The first one is South America. And also, a student have to know that this is the fourth. This is the fourth. This is the fourth largest continent. Largest continent in the world. Largest continent in the world. Fourth largest continent in the world. You have to know. And also this continent, fourth largest continent in the world, South America. Well, fourth largest continent in the world. And also this surrounded by the oceans. Again, and also because it is a continent, it's surrounded by the oceans. If you see to the north side and east, there is Atlantic Oceans. Atlantic Ocean. In east side, and north, and north side. Also we have Pacific Ocean. South America, also there is a Pacific Oceans to the south. To the southwest. This South America is bordered or surrounded by the oceans. In each side and north there is Atlantic Oceans, and the southwest there is a Pacific Ocean of that continent. Also we have another continent, that is Antarctica. Antarctica is the 5th largest continent in the world. This is the 5th largest continent in the world. Also, it is a coldest. Also, this continent, it is a coldest continent. Coldest continent. This is the only continent that there is very cold conditions, and that's in this continent. Also, this continent, it is only continent. Also, this is only continent. This is only continent. It's all that is inhabited. That is inhabited. Or uninhabited. It is only continent that is uninhabited. That is uninhabited. Only continent that is inhabited. Also, this continent surrounded by the oceans. Again, this continent that is Antarctica also surrounded by the oceans. If you look, this surrounded by the southern oceans. This is this continent surrounded by the only southern oceans. It's only surrounded by the southern oceans. Also, we have another continent that is Europe. The sixth continent that we have is Europe. This is the sixth continent, as usual, as we say, that this is sixth continent in size. Sixth continent in size in the world. Also, this Europe was surrounded by the oceans. Again, it's surrounded by the oceans. There is Arctic Ocean surrounded by Arctic Oceans. Surrounded by Arctic Ocean to the east side, to the east. Also, it's surrounded by the Arctic to the north. Also, to the north. Also surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean to the west. Atlantic Ocean to the west. Also, there is Mediterranean Sea. Mediterranean Sea. Also, it's surrounded by Mediterranean Sea to the south side. To the south. Also, in east side, there is Ural Mountains. Also, there is Ural Mountain to the east side. So this Europe is the sixth continent in size, and is bordered by the Arctic Ocean to the north side. There is Atlantic Ocean to the west. Also there is Mediterranean Sea to the south. And also in this continent there is Ural Mountains in the east side. And the last continent for the seven continents that we have in the world is Australia. The last continent, seventh one, is Australia. This Australia is the smallest continent in the world. Australia is the smallest continent in the world. Australia is the smallest continent in the world. And also this bordered by, it is bordered by it means surrounded by the oceans as well. Also there is Indian Ocean to the west, Indian Ocean to the west side. Also this surrounded by the Pacific Ocean, also Pacific Oceans to the north. North of this continent there is Pacific Oceans. Also there is Southern Oceans. Southern Ocean to the east. To the east and the south. And the south. So these are the continents that we have. So a student have to know, for this lesson, a student has to know what is a continent. As we said, a continent is a large land masses arise from the sea level, above the sea level, or arise from the ocean floor. And in the world, we have 7 major continents in the world. That the first one is, we say, is the Asia, and you have to know the ocean that surrounded the Asia. And the second largest continent is Africa. You have to know, as a student, that Africa is the second largest continent in the world. Also, you have to know the third largest continent, that is North America. We have said, as we said, that it is the third largest continent in the world. Also, the fourth one is South America. You have to know, as a student, you ought to know that South America is the 4th largest continent in the world, and it's bordered by which oceans? You have to know. And also you have to know that Antarctica is a 5th largest continent in the world, and you have to know it's the coldest continent in the world. That is the only continent that have a very, very coldest condition in the world, and it's only uninhabited continent that no people cannot live in this continent. And also you have to know the oceans that surround that Antarctica is only surrounded by the southern oceans. And also you have to know the 6th one, that is Europe, that is the 6th continent in size in the world, and also bordered by the oceans. As we see that to the north side there is Arctic Oceans, also Atlantic Ocean to the west, also there is Mediterranean Sea to the south, and also even Euro Mountains is available in the east side, a part of Europe continent. And the last continent for a student have to know for this lesson today is Australia. That Australia is the smallest continent in the world, and also it's bordered by the oceans, and we see that there is the Indian Ocean to the west side, there is a Pacific Ocean to the north, and also Southern Ocean. There is a Southern Ocean to the east and the south. So this was our lesson today. So a student, you have to know for this time. Thank you for your listening. Thank you for your time. So please continue to follow for the next session. Thank you very much.